Views regarding book banning in schools. And we'll start with you, alphabetically backwards.
Book banning is the most outrageous thing that has ever come to this earth. Trust me, I have taught To Kill a Mockingbird. I have had students read where The Caged Bird Sings. These have been magnificent experiences for them. There should be nothing off limits to a student unless if a parent really does not want a child to be exposed to the world, they have the right to say, no, I don't want my child to read Where a Caged Bird Sings. I'd rather have him read something else. But in terms of widespread book banning, in terms of removing books from the library, it is the most appalling thing I have ever seen in the world.
Ashley?
So I think book banning, I agree with along the lines that book banning in a general term probably should not happen. I do believe, though, that certain books are appropriate for certain age groups, and I think that there should be good communication between admins of school and parents. I know as a parent there have been books that have been presented to my kids with topics, even in the elementary schools, that I hadn't discussed with my kids yet. And I've had conversations with elementary principals about that. So I think that there just needs to be really good communication between admins and teachers and parents. And I think it needs to be a collaborative thing. I do agree that if there is a book that is controversial for whatever reason, that parents should have the option to be able to discuss that book at home with their student and choose if they want to read it and maybe offer a different option. Yeah, I just think better communication between admins and parents, and it should be a symbiotic relationship when it comes to removing or not doing a book.
This is just a follow-up to that, and this is from Jen Halliday on Mill Street. Is there a scenario that you believe a big book ban would be appropriate?
I believe that there are some books that have been written, such as Lolita, that would not be appropriate for students to read. I believe it is the responsibility of the educator to select books being mindful of the age group they're dealing with, and then working with their departments, working with their supervisors. They should be able to come to a consensus on, yes, this is appropriate, this is not appropriate. Mary Ellen, if you teach this, you're probably going to be a little out of line and the heat's going to get bad. And also, it needs to be a two-way street. Usually if you get a signal from an administrator that you've known for years that a book isn't quite right, that's a signal to an educator that, I better not pick that book. Let's see if I can find something that covers the same topic in a different way. But no, you don't hand Lolita to a child. You don't hand Lolita to a senior in high school. If they read it on their own, that's a whole different story.
Ashley, do you want to respond to that?
Can you just repeat the question one more time?
Are there any scenarios that you believe a book ban would be appropriate?
Yeah, so again, I guess the same thing. I think each book should probably be taken face value, and there should be a conversation between educators and administrators. If a book seems to be controversial for whatever reason, then more, like I said, I think more communication with the parents and the students should be made, and I think maybe an alternative should be offered if it doesn't work for everybody.